Hi guys, I got another theory to chew on. This one being November the 3rd of this year. Um, the reason I say theory is because there is no facts. It's all basically guesswork. But I was thinking about the iPet Go 2 video and the 9/11 references it's got there, and the possibility that this is the attempt for the second 9/11 they're trying to pre-warn us about with predictive programming. Um, so I was going to bed last night and 311 just jumped into my head because 311, as you'll see here, is the telephone number of local information service operated by some local governments in the United States and Canada. It's essentially a non-emergency number. It's basically kind of like the opposite of 911. We've got 311, like over here in the UK, it's 999, and we have a non-emergency number, which is 101. So today I started looking at the 311 on November the 3rd, and I checked out Wikipedia, and I went on to the 311, which is the telephone number for kind of like the non-emergency services in the USA and Canada. So I was just reading through, going back to the top. 311 is a special telephone number supported in many communities in Canada and the United States. The number provides access to non-emergency municipal services. The number format follows the N11 code for a group of short special purpose local numbers as designated in the North American numbering plan. I continued to read on to find out the first use of the 311 number was for informational services, and it was in Baltimore, Maryland. If any of you have watched my previous videos, I can't remember which one, but some time ago I was commenting that I thought that Maryland, Baltimore in particular, might be the site of an event, possibly an attack of some sort, where I focused on the One World Trade Center in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing transpired on the date that I suggested, but the fact that I made that video many months ago and I'm now kind of being looped back around to Baltimore, Maryland, I just wanted to put that out there. My second to previous video, so not the last video, but the video before that, I believe I mentioned a possible attack at the Invictus Games in Toronto, Canada. And there you'll see the largest 311 operation in North America operates in Toronto. So that again brings me back to another location I've mentioned under this 311 number. So those two points kind of stood out to me based on the research I've done before. I then went on just to look at November the 3rd itself, and check out basically when I do these number things with dates, I always check out the events and holiday observances just to see if there's anything special linked to that particular day. I don't really see anything. If anyone else does, feel free to point it out. I then went on to the actual numbers themselves, and the 3rd of November 2017, as I did with the 29th of September 2017, which added up to 9/11/10, or if you reverse the 10, it makes it 9/11/01. I thought that might be the second 9/11. Again, I've done the number thing, and I've just done 0 plus 3, 1 plus 1, and 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7, which comes out to 3, 2, 10. In this respect, it goes 3, 2, 1, 0. It seems if that is something that is to be interpreted, then it's a countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0, and that's on the 3rd of November 2017. Also on the 3rd of November 2017, there's quite a few major releases, things that people are really interested in. So the iPhone X is going to be released on the 3rd of November. The iPhone X is the iPhone 10. For some reason, they skipped the iPhone 9. They have never done that before. They've always gone iPhone. I don't think they did iPhone. Started with 4, maybe, I think. Then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, and then skip 9, and on to 10. So that could be an indication that maybe something will happen this month, although I'm a little bit doubtful of that. There is Hurricane Nate, which is due to make landfall in New Orleans, but it doesn't appear to be making landfall as a hurricane, more of a tropical storm, maybe a Category 1, which should be something that can be handled, quite easily. There are some other hurricanes following later on in the month, but none of them heading towards the east coast of America, more likely heading my way towards the UK. So I'll be keeping an eye on that for myself. But yeah, you've got the iPhone X releasing on the 3rd of November. Sam Smith, very popular artist, a lot of people like him. He's released a single today, which is the 6th of October 2017, called Pray, and I just found that kind of ominous because I'm doing this research today. I've taken a little break from it because the dates have been wrong and the information is not quite panned out as expected. That's a good thing, but also it's quite tiring, constantly going through these things and not actually getting anywhere. Not that I want to get anywhere, because if I do get somewhere, then it means that a lot of people die, so I'd rather be wrong. But it does tire you out when you do these kind of things. But yeah, he's got a new single called Pray, and his album itself is due to release on November the 3rd. So again, I found that a little bit coincidental. And then we've got a very popular Marvel action film, which is Thor Ragnarok. The name Ragnarok has its own meanings. I'm not going to go into that on this video, but feel free to do the researching on Ragnarok, the word itself, for yourself. But again, that's releasing on the 3rd of November 2017 in the USA. It's releasing a little bit earlier in the UK, which is on the 27th of October, which is another date that's been out there. Just before I continue, other dates that may have a particular event happening or something happening on that day. I don't know. When I say event, I don't necessarily mean like a nuclear attack or war starting. It could be a hurricane, it could be another shooting like in Las Vegas, it could be an earthquake, a tornado, but it's definitely something that causes either damage or loss of life. Excuse me. The next thing I noticed was I was doing dates before I move on. So October the 10th is one date that has been floating around. October the 14th, October the 15th, October the 27th. I'm personally focusing on November the 3rd. And then you've got, the normal December. Like, I just kind of put that whole month in a block period by itself. I'm assuming if we do go through 2017 with nothing major of what we're talking about happening, then I will assume the dates in 2018 and 2019 will be the same for people. The only other date I'm looking out for, apart from the dates in this year, is jumping from 18-19 going to 2020, which is December the 2nd, 2020. That's the only other date that I'm going to be looking at after October. Hopefully nothing happens at all on any of those dates. But then we're moving on. So then we've got the Call of Duty World War II is also launching on November the 3rd. I found the trailer quite interesting. So I'm going to play it.
This day have set upon a mighty endeavor. Souls will be shaken with the violences of war in this hour of great sacrifice. We shall prevail.
Get your head down and keep moving!
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot, we must not fail.
Duty first. Hey, Perez! Won't be enough for you! How many casualties? We executed the mission. Get me the fuck out of here! How many? We had orders! Get to cover!
Lieutenant, tell them what we're all about.
No mission too difficult. No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the Bloody First. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
So that's the trailer for Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, you see they're coming out November the 3rd. All of this I found after I was going to sleep last night, and the number 311 came to me as possibly the second 9/11. And now I'm just showing you. So there's also another event. Bryan Adams, another famous artist, he's going to be releasing an album called Ultimate on the 3rd of November, and he's going to be doing that in Toronto. Just going back to Sam Smith quickly, his first tour for this new album that he's going to be doing is also going to be in Toronto. So Toronto seems to be getting a lot of attention at the moment. The 3rd of November is also Day of the Dead, some sort of celebration. I don't know really what it is, but the Day of the Dead comes to Lincoln, which is in the UK, Europe's largest confetti cannon sculpting, just basically talking about what's going to be there. But you know, as I'm researching, I'm finding these things, and I don't like when I see things like Day of the Dead on a date that I'm researching. It doesn't bode well. Moving on from releases of artists and iPhones and movies and games, all on the 3rd of November, we've got the largest ever public military drill in Sharjah on November the 3rd. This is the United Arab Emirates, and they will stage their largest ever public military drill to highlight its role in safeguarding security in the UAE. As we all know, they like to do their little drills and their emergency plannings and stuff before an event happens. Sometimes quite a lot actually on the days that things happen. For example, the firefighters being there on 9/11. We had the emergency services doing a drill on the 7/7 bombings in London. On the tube, they were doing an emergency drill, so they were right there on hand, ready to give assistance. So it appears that they like to have these things in place on the same day that these things are going to happen. How they haven't been caught out by now, I don't know, but there you go. It's even again like in Las Vegas, for example, they're saying that the police response took like 9 to 10 minutes to actually, you know, stop the shooter, or the shooter was shooting for 9 to 10 minutes. Some people say it's longer, up to half an hour. Some people say the bullets were fake and that the gun was fake and that the whole thing was set up. You really don't know what to believe in these situations. You have your opinions, but there were off-duty police officers at the event. There were emergency services close to the event. Obviously, something with thousands of people is usually going to attract some form of emergency services as a response, just in case something happens or, you know, someone gets injured or something. But again, they've had the people in place ready to give assistance at the time the emergency took place. So along with all of that, you've got the whole troop movements with troops moving into Texas and into Florida and into Puerto Rico. Just to clarify, America's not doing so well on the international stage right now. When you've got Trump wanting to pull out the Iran deal, Trump pulled out the Paris Agreement. He ended DACA. He started some trouble with Venezuela. He's got issues with China. He's got issues with Russia. He's got issues with North Korea. There's issues in the Middle East. So, compared to the previous presidents, which tried to minimize the amount of stuff coming at America at one time, it appears that Trump is almost like the phrase from Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. It's order out of chaos, and chaos is a ladder. So from my perspective, looking from the outside in, it appears that the chaos is deliberate and it's designed to confuse people, while people who know what's going on in the chaos can actually make progress without having the eyes of the world on them. So all the things that we're being distracted by, I feel everything's a distraction. The hurricanes and the shootings and the earthquakes and everything else, they're devastating. People have lost their lives, and we pray for those families that have been left behind, and we pray that the people that did pass had got themselves right with God before they left the earth. But I still feel like it's a form of distraction. So, you know, you have to really keep your eyes open. This is one part I wanted to go back to. The Simpsons video that I did previously, pointing out the this clock here, when it starts, it's on 3 a.m. I paused it here because it's really hard to catch it on the 11:30, because immediately after this it quickly changes to another scene, almost as if they don't want you to see where the hands stop. But obviously we've got slow motion, we've got pause buttons, so we can get there. I guess it's just people watch this as entertainment and they don't pay attention to these small little things. Again, nothing could happen, but we want to point out these things in case something does. So the clock on this in the Simpsons season 27 video starts at 3 a.m. And moves round to 11:30 a.m. Now in my previous video I assumed that because of the 23 day and the Revelation 12 sign and all the other things that are pointing to 23, that the 11:30 was 23:30, which I translated as possibly 23 being the 23 date, September, and then 30 possibly being the 3 a.m. time. That passed and nothing happened. So now I'm looking at it in a different way. With the 3/11 date that I'm looking at now, November the 3rd, if you write November as 11/03, sorry, no, that's the wrong way around. If you do November as 03/11, the way we do it in the UK, if you flip that round the way they do it in America, you've got 11:30 basically. So this could be pointing, this saying 11:30 could be pointing to 11 being November and 30 being, take away the 0 because 0 doesn't count when you're doing these additions with the numbers. You got the 3, so 3rd of November possibly. I don't know, I just guess. And we'll see what happens when the 3rd of November comes round. Moving on as swiftly as I can. Don't want to go to that yet. 11/3 or 11/3, as it will most likely be, or 3/11, as it will most likely be known if anything does happen on a date, just like 9/11, it will be 3/11. So 3/11 is basically 3 times 11, which is 33, which most of you who are watching, if you're watching this video, will know about what 33 represents in Freemasonry. Reading through the significance of the number of 33, I got down to here, which is one of the symbols of the Ku Klux Klan is K, which is the 11th letter of the alphabet 3 times. So KKK is 11 times 3, which is 33. And then you've got the 33, sorry, not that one. Where is it? Okay, can't find it there, so let me move on to the next tab. But basically 33 is Master Mason, and that's when I kind of picked up on this next thing here, which is the House of the Temple, which is a Masonic temple in Washington DC, United States. It serves as the headquarters of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, Southern Jurisdiction, USA, official home of the Supreme Council, 33 degree ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, Southern Jurisdiction, Washington, D.C., USA. So this House of the Temple is located approximately 1 mile immediately north of the White House. So again, I don't know if anything's relevant is there, but seeing as it popped up in my research, I thought I would point it out. That is basically the sum of my research going through these dates. Now, it's all, to me, looking at it, it looks, a bit flimsy here and there, but considering you've got the 311, which is the non-emergency number opposite of 911, and we're looking at, the second 911 possibly occurring with 311, also being 3 times 11, and that adding up to 33, which is a Master Mason number. And then you've got if you add the dates together, like 0311 and 2017, you get 3210, and that is a countdown. A countdown for what? If it is a countdown, I don't know, but it's worth pointing out. You've got military drills, and again, with the Simpsons, as they did with 9/11, you've got something that could represent the 3rd of November. So I just want to tell you guys to really just be careful out there, because things are just that they're escalating quicker, whether that's because the media is showing us more things, or we've got more access to it through the internet and stuff, that we're able to pick up on news reports that we wouldn't have been able to do previously, or whether things are actually escalating. I can't actually tell you, but what I'm seeing with earthquakes and hurricanes, people losing power in entire countries, each country, I think this year, nearly all the countries have had some sort of drill or rehearsal for a war type event, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better as the time progresses. Usually you'd expect these things to ratchet down, but the rhetoric is just increasing and going through the roof. And then you've got Trump saying things like, this is the calm before the storm, and you've got military experts saying that it looks like North Korea may be preparing another missile test. So you really don't know what's gonna actually happen, and you just have to kind of keep your eyes open. But I would suggest, along with other dates that you may be looking at, for things to happen, if predictive programming is real, then we should pay attention. But yeah, the 3rd of November is one that I'm focusing on right now, and then after the 3rd of November passes, I won't be looking at any more dates until December the 2nd, 2020, and hopefully we make it there. So that's it, guys. Enjoy your evening. Oh, the last thing, the Lord is good. When I typed in 11/3, the way it would be written in America, because they like to put the month first rather than day. Don't know why, but there you go, my American cousins out there. Luke 11, it just stood out to me because all I typed in was 11:3, and usually when you type in a number like that, you get some sort of Bible verse. I immediately saw this one, which is Luke 11:3, which is something that my grandma used to make us do every night before we go to bed, was to say the Lord's Prayer. Now this page is only give us each day our daily bread. There is a lot more, well, not a lot more, but there is an entire verse, and I would just like to say it, not just because I feel like I've been drawn to this particular passage, but also because of my grandma, who passed away a number of years ago, and she used to make us, me and my brother and my sister and my cousin, say this prayer every night before we went to bed. So I'd like to say it now. And it goes, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.